Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
New York Times Business.
March 12, 3 o'clock America, New York. Ukrainian minister has turned digital tools into modern weapons of war. Mikhailo Fedorov, Ukraine's youngest minister, has turned technology, cryptocurrency and social media into modern weapons of war. Mikhailo Fedorov, a vice prime minister of Ukraine and former tech entrepreneur, in 2020.
Daily FX Market News.
March 12, 2 o'clock American New York, Bitcoin, BTC, USD, resistance holds firm as midweek optimism fades. Bitcoin is finding a couple of levels of resistance difficult to break, leaving it vulnerable to further losses.
Marginal Revolution.
March 12, 1:24 America, New York, immigration as a problem of optimal harvesting. Assume you are judging immigration policy from a nationalistic point of view for the receiving country. Furthermore, assume that you have in place, or could have in place, a mechanism for positive selection of migrants. That is, you can attract some real talent, some Edward Tellers and Pete Mondrians.
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
March 12, 029 America, New York, your favorite episodes of 2021. For 2021, here are the top 10 episodes, which is actually 12. Number 10 was a three-way tie, Sebastian Junger on Freedom, Lamorna Ash on Dark, Salt, Clear, and Don Boudreau on Buchanan.
Armstrong Economics. March 12, 006 America, New York, Joe Su, The Art of Losing War. The Post. Joe Su, The Art of Losing War first appeared on Armstrong Economics.
BBC News Business.
March 11, 1951 America, New York, fears funeral plan reforms could mean thousands lose money. There is growing concern that tougher regulations for funeral plan providers could hit many customers.
Wall Street Journal Markets. March 11, 1947 America, New York, Abramovic U.S. hedge fund investments are frozen. A number of U.S. hedge fund firms that have investments from Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich have been told to freeze his assets after he was sanctioned by the British government Thursday.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 11, 1926 America, New York, Disney CEO tried to avoid politics, now finds himself in middle of partisan spat. The move follows a bill the state Senate passed that would restrict teaching about sexual orientation and gender identity in public schools.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 11, 1911 America, New York, Uber imposes new customer fees to offset gas prices. The ride-hailing company is putting in place a fuel surcharge, a fixed rate per trip regardless of distance, for the next 2 months that goes directly to drivers.
Finance and Economics. March 11, 1900 America, New York, Iran's flourishing stock market reflects its resilient economy. The economy was hurt badly by sanctions but did not collapse. Finance and Economics.
March 11, 1900 America, New York, how oil shocks have become less shocking. Soaring crude prices stoke fears of recession, but the global economy looks resilient.
Daily FX Market News.
March 11, 1900 America, New York, Australian dollar outlook is caught in commodities whirlwind as risks kick in. The Australian dollar has been caught in the volatility breakout seen across commodity markets. Will other fundamentals kick in for AUD, USD?
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
March 11, 1858 America, New York, the promise of Bitcoin. It's clear that governments can use financial censorship to squeeze worthy and unworthy targets alike for the time being, but it's less clear if governments can maintain this power for much longer.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 11, 1814 America, New York, Shell, Campbell's Soup, Peloton, stocks that defined the week. Here are 7 major companies whose stocks moved on the week's news.
New York Times Business.
March 11, 1752 America, New York, U.S. and EU ban luxury exports to Russia. The move will prevent any shipments of high-end watches, cars, apparel, alcohol and jewelry from reaching the country. Many luxury groups have already closed their stores in Russia.
Global economy.
March 11, 1359 America, New York, UK households face £38 billion hit from rising energy bills. Increased cost of heating and lighting equivalent to extra 6p on basic rate of income tax.
Global economy.
March 11, 12:30 America, New York. Inflation alarm focuses the minds of investors. Markets take their cue from hawkish central banks rather than fears over Ukraine fallout.